Okay. So we're gonna figure out how many fit comfortably this time rather than crammed so that everybody rotates properly. And the supplies I have are the eggs, the setup incubator we talked about yesterday, markers, and a little spritzer with peroxide in it. And we're gonna do, for my eggs, I'm not gonna do this to the ones I'm giving away because that's somebody else's choice what to do. We're gonna do 50% spritzed with the peroxide, and I'm gonna mark them red on the side that they're gonna start with faced up so that I can check if they're rotating. So these are the two that are no good. This one's super no good. This one is a maybe. And bring the markers up here. So first I'm just going to arrange them in here. It's been 18 or so hours. Let's see. Actually, let me move you a little bit closer so that you can really see what's going on here. Ideally, you'd have them point down, but this is acceptable, you know? I'm gonna sit because this is weird and uncomfortable. Those are pretty comfortably spaced, but we can always take more out. You'll notice I'm not spritzing them yet, and that is because I need to decide which ones I'm keeping. So the instructions from MyShire say 12 to 24 hours, so I am going with 18 on this. Yeah, so comfortably it looks like I fit 20. And if we don't count the broken one, that means there's 9 extras. Trying to get a nice mix of pretty colors, because a lot of times they say that if it ends up being a hen, the color that the parent laid will be the color that the child lays. Or pattern and everything else like that. Let me see, which is the last one I want. This one really looks like an ink blot test. So we're gonna do 50-50 sprayed and not sprayed. Don't know what's on this one, but it's okay. Oh, I was gonna make red be peroxide. Well, maybe I still will. No, we'll say red is not peroxide. No, I don't know. I'll go with my first thought, because then I won't forget. I hope that this will be an obvious enough marking to be able to tell if they are rotating or not. To be fair, if I decided to flip them myself instead of use the automatic turner, I don't think I can really show you me spraying them. Maybe I can. Yeah, let's just, yeah, right here. Okay. Because I don't want to overspray and get all of them. Yes, it does damage the bloom, but there is a research study for chicken eggs showing that this greatly increases hatch rates, and if I can find it, I'll put it in the description. And last time I had 5 hatch, and I'm pretty sure 4 of those were the peroxide eggs, so it didn't hurt. Oh, I have to line these up so that little line is up, just for my sanity's sake. Here we go. So I only did 1/3 of them with peroxide last time, and most of the ones I sprayed with peroxide did hatch, whereas others, not so much. So that's what I'm gonna do here is a 50-50, and so that's 10 yes peroxide and 10 no peroxide. Oh, and if you'll remember from last time, I did end up having to put a big egg on the end and point it back the other way because everybody was scooting off the end. And I'm gonna have to check on them from time to time now that they're in there. Okay, so that is sufficient peroxide. There is some dripping on my knees, so I'm gonna try not to put peroxide dots on my skin. How are we doing? All right. So, yeah, the big egg, and this is what I mean by put it on the end and turn it around. All of these smaller eggs in this row, the point is pointing that way, so I'm gonna have the pointy end point this opposite way at the end. Gonna repeat that every row. If it's not a big enough egg, then both need to, because the eggs scoot toward their, then you need to do like 2 on one side and 3 on the other, pointing toward inward. The eggs scoot toward their pointy end and will fall off the end and stop rotating. Ideally, someday I will have little glass cylinders that will not only be heat sinks, but hold the eggs on the rails without worrying about that. Nestle this in real good. And I have it all the super way closed. I'm gonna take some water in this thing, pull it to the low humidity thing that we looked at yesterday, and then plug it back in. So the eggs remaining up top are for giveaway. That way I can very comfortably hatch, and someone else can get some eggs too.